The winter wind screamed across the plains of Montana as Ethan Collins stood on his porch, his baby daughter wailing in his arms. It had only been 3 weeks since he buried his wife, Clara, 3 weeks since the world had slipped out from under him. His ranch, once filled with warmth and soft laughter, had fallen into a silence so heavy it suffocated him. And now, at 2 in the morning, with a blizzard rolling in and no family within 100 miles, he had no idea how to calm the tiny life crying against his chest. "SHHH, baby girl, I'm trying," he whispered, voice breaking. He had fed her, rocked her, checked her blanket, nothing helped. Her little fists trembled, her face turned red from screaming, and panic shook him to the bone. He paced the living room, tears burning in his eyes. "Clara, I don't know what I'm doing." The storm worsened. Snow slammed against the windows. His horse whinnied in the distance. The nearest town was 40 miles away, and the roads would already be buried. He was alone, completely, desperately alone. And that was when he remembered her. The quiet neighbor. The woman he barely saw except in glimpses, carrying groceries, tending her small garden, feeding strays that wandered to her door. Her name was Lily Hart, a young widow who had moved into the small cabin bordering his ranch 6 months ago. She kept to herself, never asked for anything, never bothered anyone. But she always smiled, a sad, soft smile that hinted at a story she never told. Ethan had nodded to her a few times, nothing more. But right now, she was his only hope. He grabbed his coat, wrapped his daughter in a thick wool blanket, and stepped out into the biting storm. The wind nearly shoved him back, but he pushed forward, shielding his baby with his body as he trudged through the snow toward the faint glow from Lily's cabin. By the time he reached her door, he was shivering so hard he could barely knock. But he did. 3 weak knocks. For a moment there was nothing, only the brutal howl of the storm. Then the door opened a crack, warm light spilling out, and Lily appeared, hair messy from sleep, wearing a shawl wrapped around her shoulders. When she saw the baby, her face changed instantly. "Ethan, what? Oh my God, give her to me." He hadn't even asked yet, but she gently lifted the baby from his arms with a confidence that flooded him with relief. "Come inside, you're freezing." He stepped in, snow melting off his boots, breath shaking. Lily cradled the baby like she had done it 1,000 times, humming softly. Within seconds, the impossible happened. The baby stopped crying, completely, like she had been waiting for Lily's touch. Ethan covered his mouth, overwhelmed. How did you do that?" Lily didn't answer immediately. She simply kissed the baby's forehead, rocking her. "I used to be a nurse," she finally said, "before everything in my life fell apart." She didn't look at him when she said it, and Ethan didn't ask. Some stories are seen in the eyes, not told in words. "What happened to Clara?" she asked softly. He broke. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly, like a man who had been holding everything in until something gentle finally cracked him open. Complications after childbirth. I thought she was recovering. She said she was fine. And then one night she was gone. Lily's eyes filled with tears, but she held them back for his sake. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "No one deserves that." The baby slept peacefully in her arms now, breathing slow and warm. Lily looked down at her with a tenderness that made Ethan's throat tighten. "She's hungry," Lily said gently. "Did you have any formula left?" "It spilled earlier. I didn't know what to do." "Then let me help." She disappeared briefly into the kitchen and returned with warm milk she had prepared, feeding the baby with soft patience. Ethan watched every second, memorizing, learning. "You should sit," she told him. "You look like you haven't slept in days." "I haven't," he admitted. She guided him to the chair near the fire, wrapped a blanket around his shoulders, and for the first time in weeks, Ethan felt a moment of peace, a moment of safety. A moment of not being alone. Lily stayed awake the entire night, rocking the baby, feeding her, whispering little stories only Bobbies understand. Ethan drifted in and out of sleep, waking each time to the sight of Lily sitting by the firelight with his daughter snuggled in her arms. When morning came, the storm had settled, but a different storm had settled inside him. A storm of gratitude, debt, and something else he didn't dare name. "You saved us," he said quietly. Lily shook her head. "I didn't do anything special." "You did more than you know." He hesitated. "Would you maybe come by during the week, just to help me learn? I don't want to be a burden, but—" "You're not a burden," she interrupted softly. "And yes, I'll help." Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. Lily became a constant presence at the ranch. She taught him everything: feeding, bathing, soothing, recognizing each cry. She cooked when he forgot to eat, made him laugh when he forgot how, and held the baby with a love so natural it broke him a little each time he watched. And slowly, Ethan realized something. The ranch wasn't silent anymore. There was music again, Lily humming while cooking, giggles from the baby, the soft rustle of feet moving through a home that suddenly felt alive. One evening after dinner, as they stood on the porch watching the sunset, Ethan turned to her. "Lily, I don't know how to say this. I don't want to rush anything. I don't want to hurt you, but my heart, it's not empty anymore." She looked down, breath trembling. "Ethan, I haven't let anyone close since my husband died. I didn't think I had anything left to give." "You gave my daughter a mother's love," he whispered, "and you gave me back something I thought I lost forever." Her eyes lifted to his, soft and shining. "And what's that?" "Hope." Lily's breath caught. The baby cooed in her arms, reaching a tiny hand toward Lily's face. And Lily broke. She pressed her forehead to Ethan's chest, and he wrapped his arms around her, holding her like something precious, something chosen, not stumbled upon. "Ethan," she whispered, "I'm scared." "So am I," he admitted, "but I'd rather be scared with you than safe without you." Spring came early that year. When they married in a small ceremony under the cottonwood tree, the baby, now smiling, chubby, wildly adored, reached out for Lily the moment the vows were spoken. The preacher laughed. "Well, she approves." And Ethan leaned close, whispering to his new wife, "You didn't just save my daughter, Lily. You saved me." Lily smiled through tears. "No," she whispered back, "you gave me a life worth saving." And under the vast Montana sky, surrounded by the land that had witnessed his deepest grief, Ethan found something he never thought he'd have again. A family, a partner, a home full of love. All because, on the coldest night of his life, his quiet neighbor had opened her door. And her heart,